Hello friends, this is Nilanjana and you are with BioStudy Pathshala. So in our previous video we have covered about recessive epistasis. So in our today's class we will cover one of types of epistasis. So let's see what we are going to cover in today's session. So you have seen today's topic is dominant epistasis. So let's learn dominant epistasis. So now we will know about the dominant epistasis. So what is dominant epistasis? Again, the word epistasis means to mask, that means to suppress another gene's expression. For say, again here two genes, these are A and B gene, and A is epistatic over B gene, that means A shows its suppression effect on B gene, but it is dominant epistasis. Again, A gene shows three types of genotypes. These are capital A, that is homozygous dominant, capital A, small a, that is heterozygous condition, and small a, that is homozygous recessive condition. The capital B gene will show three types of genotypes. These are capital B, that is homozygous dominant condition, capital B, small b, that is heterozygous condition, and small b, that is homozygous recessive condition. So I have told that A is epistatic over B gene, that means A is showing its dominant or suppression expression on B gene, but it is dominant epistasis. That means the genotype of A, these are homozygous dominant genotype and heterozygous. Any of them can show their dominancy or epistatic effect on B gene. That means either capital A or capital A, small a, that means homozygous dominant condition or heterozygous condition may show the epistatic effect on B gene. These are either capital B or capital B, or small b. That means the dominant epistasis means the homozygous dominant condition or heterozygous condition may show the epistasis or epistatic expression on another gene's expression. This is known as dominant epistasis. So this is about the hypothetical example. The fruit color of summer squash. The fruit color of summer squash follow the dominant epistasis pathway, and the summer squash fruit shows three types of colors. These are white, next yellow, and the last one is green. And the possible genes which are responsible for this coloration, these are W gene and Y gene, and within these three colors the green is most recessive form between or among these three colors. Green is recessive than yellow and white, and yellow is recessive than white. That means the white is most dominant color while the green is most recessive color. And the genes which are responsible for the coloration of these colors are W and Y. So the W gene products, these are capital W or capital W or small w. Although small w doesn't show any expression, but these two genotype product show white coloration, and these two genotypes products are E1 enzyme, and the Y gene, the genotypes of Y gene, capital Y or capital Y, or small y, these two genotype shows the E2 product, that is enzyme 2 product, which leads to formation the yellow color, and the precursor color is green for both E1 enzyme and E2 enzyme. That means green color by the enzyme activity E1 forms white color, and this green color with the enzyme activity E2 forms yellow color. So this is the basics, or this is the gist of dominant epistasis. Now we will see the cross procedure of the dominant epistasis. So let's see. So in the cross procedure, in P1 generation, a white squash fruit crossed with a green squash fruit. This white squash fruit shows the genotype capital W, capital Y. That means all are homozygous dominant condition. The phenotype is white color, and this individual shows the genotype small w, small y, that is homozygous recessive condition, and it shows the phenotype green squash fruit. In gametic 1 generation, these two individuals will produce gametes. So in gametic 1 generation, the white squash fruit will produce capital Y, capital W gamete. Obviously the number of gametes will be 4, and this individual will produce small w, small y type of gametes, and the number of the gametes again will be 4. In F1 generation, these two gametes will fuse together to form F1 individuals, and the F1 individuals will be white in color, and this individual will show the genotype capital W, capital Y, small y. The phenotype obviously you can see as well, white coloration. So this is about the F1 generation. Now if we want to see the selfing between F1 individuals, that means completely the F2 individuals genotype and phenotype. First, the cross between F1 individual of white squash fruit with the genotype capital W, capital Y, small y, white fruit, crossed with again a white squash fruit with the genotype capital W, capital Y, small y, the phenotype white squash. Now this individual will produce 4 types of gametes. These are capital W, capital Y, capital W, small w, capital Y, and small w, small y. This individual again will produce 4 types of gametes. These are capital W, capital Y, capital W, small w, capital Y, and small w, small y. Now these 4 gametes, with these 4 gametes fuse together to form 16 individuals, and these 16 individuals will be represented through checkerboard. So now see the checkerboard. So this is the checkerboard for F2 individuals, and this F2 individuals, this row for male gametes, this row for female gametes, and among these 16 individual you can see these 3 are yellow and 1 is only green, and the rest of the individuals will show the white coloration. So in this particular genotype you can see 2 capital W, 2 capital Y. In this particular genotype 2 capital W but 1 capital Y. In this particular genotype 1 capital W but 2 capital Y. And within this particular genotype 1 capital W and 1 capital Y. That means the presence of 1 capital W along with 1 capital Y will produce the white coloration. Here you can see. Again you can see here that the capital W, small y, that means the homozygous dominant condition or heterozygous condition of capital W, but homozygous recessive condition of small y will produce the white coloration. You can see here. Again you can see here that is 1 capital W but homozygous recessive condition of Y. That means capital W, small y will produce the white coloration. Here you can see as well. So with this particular genotype, the number of the individuals will be 9 out of 16. This one 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So with this particular genotype, the 9 individuals will show the white coloration. That means capital W dash, capital Y dash showing the white coloration, and the number of the individual with this particular genotype is 9 upon 16. That means 9 individuals among 16. And next is with this particular genotype, that is capital W dash small y. That means this one and this one. With this particular genotype, the number of the individual will be 3 upon 16. That means among the 16 individuals, only 3 is showing this kind of genotype with the phenotype white. That means capital W dash small y is showing white coloration, and the 3 individuals among 16 showing this kind of phenotype and genotype. Next is the homozygous condition of small w or homozygous recessive condition of W gene with one dominant allele, or homozygous dominant condition of Y gene or heterozygous condition of Y gene is showing yellow coloration. You can see here as well. Here 2 W gene or recessive W allele. This is dominant condition of Y gene or homozygous dominant condition of Y gene. Here the homozygous recessive condition of W gene, and it is heterozygous condition, and this is exactly similar. So with this particular genotype, the number of the individuals will be 3. That means with this particular genotype, the number of individual will be 3 upon 16, and the remaining one is showing small w, small y. That means the next is small w, capital Y dash is showing yellow coloration with 3 upon 16, and the last one is small w, small y is showing the green coloration, and the number of the individual is 1 upon 16. That means one individual among 16. That means this particular 2 genotypes showing white coloration. That means these 2 will togetherly show the white coloration. That means 12 individuals among 16 individuals are showing the white coloration. So through this checkerboard, we can obtain the phenotypic ratio as 12 white, 3 yellow and 1 green. So this is the dominant epistasis phenotypic ratio. So we have seen, or we have learned, the cross of dominant epistasis and what are the genotypes responsible for each phenotypes, and what is the probable or what is the actual phenotypic ratio for dominant epistasis. Now we will learn the enzymatic pathway which is responsible for the dominant epistasis. So let's learn. Next is the enzymatic pathway for dominant epistasis. So in this pathway, the basic color is green, and this color is coded by small w, small y genotype. This genotype is completely homozygous recessive form, and this green color further be modified to white coloration, which is coded by capital W dash small y. That means presence of one dominant allele of W gene may cause the formation of white food color, and the white color formation from green color occurs due to the effect of E1 enzyme, and this E1 enzyme is the result of or is the product of capital W or capital W small w genotype. That means the homozygous dominant condition of W gene or heterozygous condition of W gene may lead to formation of E1 enzyme which transforms the green to white coloration, and this green coloration may transform to yellow coloration which is coded by small w, capital Y dash. That means one dominant allele of Y gene may show the coloration yellow, and this transformation occurs due to the activity of E2 enzyme, and this E2 enzyme is the product of capital Y or capital Y small y. That means either heterozygous condition of Y gene or homozygous dominant condition of Y gene may lead to formation of E2 enzyme, which further lead to formation of yellow color from green coloration. So now from this pathway you can say that the small w, small y give rise to green color. Next is capital W dash small y may lead to formation of white color. Next, small w, capital Y dash may lead to formation of yellow color. So next one genotype remains, that is capital W dash, capital Y dash. We have seen in our previous checkerboard that this genotype gives rise white coloration. So how? Here you can see a dominant W allele is present, again a dominant Y allele is present. So the two dominant alleles of two dominant genes present, but it causes the white coloration. So why this white coloration actually occurs? Because here two enzymes are involved. These are E1 and E2, and these two enzymes shows its effect, or the precursor of these two enzymes are green. So here affinity of enzyme actually shows its effect. Affinity of enzymes means between these two enzymes, which enzyme shows its maximum affinity to its precursor, that is green coloration. So the affinity of enzyme is E1 is greater than E2. That means the affinity of E1 is much more greater than E2. That means if in a pathway or at a particular time, if E1 and E2 present, then E1 will show its effect. If the functional E2 is present, it cannot show its expression because E1 will show its effect, and E1 is dominating over E2. That means the W gene or the dominant allele of W gene is expressing and masking the effect of Y gene's expression. That means either capital W or capital W small w. If any of these two genotypes, or if one of these two genotypes present, the expression of capital Y or capital Y small y will not be observed, because these genotypes can mask the effect of these genotypes expression. So that is how the enzymatic pathway for dominant epistasis actually takes place. So we have learned in our session dominant epistasis, the cross of dominant epistasis, the phenotypic ratio of the dominant epistasis, and the enzymatic pathway which actually modifies this ratio. So if you have learned something through this video, do like this video, share and recommend this channel to your friends, and if you are new to this channel, do subscribe this. And if you want to take tuitions through online, you may let me know on comment section as well as through mail. So till then, thank you.